So you're a killer?
Sir, yes, sir!
Let me see your war face.
Sir!
You got a war face? Ah! That's a war face. Now let me see your war face.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning into Basic Billiards. I am SithLordFelix, your host, with the great Sensei Brian of FX Billiards. How are you?
I'm doing great. Outstanding.
Awesome. So, what can I say? All right, so I don't know. I kind of want to jump right into it. Before I do, I should remind everybody at home, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and if you can, try watching some of the stuff because I kind of need all the help I can get here. I need 3,200 hours of watch time to get monetized. So there's the challenge.
I thought you. Oh, I thought you were already monetized.
No. I see now. That's
Great.
great.
You got the subscriber number, but you don't have the view time.
I don't have the watch time. And what really sucks, if I could be constructively critical of YouTube here, is they're not counting all the shorts that I've made. I went in hard on YouTube Shorts. And if they were to take that watch time into account, I'd easily be over the threshold to get monetized. But instead, for shorts, I need something ridiculous, like 10 million views within 90 days. And I'm nowhere near that. So it's like they look.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, it's like it's purposely every time I think I'm close, it's like always just a little bit out of reach, to get to that monetization phase.
Okay, I may be incorrect here, but I think that when a lot of your shorts came out, they weren't considering them, and then they realized the importance of shorts, and they may be giving them more credit than they were before because they needed to compete with TikTok. And one of the things that they were trying to do is, because they monetize shorts now. Nobody makes any. Well, I shouldn't say that. Somebody is. Most people don't make a lot of money off of shorts. Like it's less than 1% of my. But I don't do a lot of shorts, so I really shouldn't use myself as a gauge. But I think it's less than 1% of my revenue is from shorts. It might be like 0.01. It's a low enough number that I don't even look at it.
Right.
But they do recognize the importance of shorts now, and I think you're going to get a little bit more from that. So
sure.
Yeah.
No. It's just their requirements are just all right. And now this is for anyone who's seeking monetization. All right, because they didn't say this to me up front when I started gaining traction with YouTube Shorts. All right, like maybe about a year and a half ago, but maybe like 6 months before I started taking lessons from you and I started just shooting around. Before that point, I had about 65 to 70 subscribers. And that's it. Right. The second I started, all I did was I posted a break of me breaking the rack. That's it. And I was like, oh, I dropped 3 balls. And it was such a big deal. And then all of a sudden I got like all these views, and I was like, oh, okay. I had my eureka moment. And I was like, let me release more of these. And I was doing like 3 a day, 3 shorts a day. I was on my goal. And I'm thinking I'm accumulating this watch time. They don't tell you that till after you pass the 1,000 subs. They're like, oh, well, now you need we take YouTube time, the shorts time into account, but it really is. It's something like you need like 10 million views within 90 days for them to consider that, because before they didn't consider any of it, but they tallied it on your numbers. Like, oh, you have this much watch time, and they calculated the YouTube shorts time. So I thought I was good.
Right.
But boy, was I wrong.
And I remember the day you broke 1,000 because you showed me how close you were, and I'm like, let me make a couple calls. And I think by like the next day or something, you were right there.
So close.
So yeah, let me see what I can do for you on my podcast. Honestly, the reason I don't, I have the reason I don't promote other channels on my channel. Like I could tell everybody, on my channel, go watch your channel. The reason I don't do that a lot is I've got like 15 guys that have channels, and that would be my full-time job. Hey, watch this one and watch this one and watch this one and watch this one. So that's the only reason I don't blatantly go in and say, watch this channel.
I got the next best thing. I have you on the podcast, so I'm good.
Oh yeah, you've got me in real time. Yeah, because I have a couple guys that actually were watching my channel before I was putting out content. Like, when I only had 8 videos for 10 years, and they were watching and subscribing and all of that stuff. And so a couple years ago, I did pump them up a little bit, but it was the same thing. I just did a podcast with them. I didn't say, watch these guys, and they're doing okay. But yeah, I'm going to be knocking out hopefully weekly podcasts, and I would definitely give you a mention on the podcast. But yeah, I can't really do it on the channel because that would be my full-time thing.
Fair enough.
But yeah, this channel, I think it's a lot of fun, and I think that people really should watch it. And I don't know if you've looked at your at your stats, but there's a very strange thing that happens on YouTube. Maybe it's not all that strange, but 75% of the people that watch just about any channel aren't subscribing. So I have 56, 57, maybe thousand subscribers. I've got 150,000 unique viewers. So 150,000 people that are watching every week, 8 million total views. But only about 75. So about 75% of the people that watch never hit the subscribe button. And I just think that's crazy, because the channels that I like, I want to make sure.
I want to see more of their stuff. Yeah, exactly.
And then people email me and say, "Oh, you should do a video about how to intuitively make bank shots." No, I've done that. You missed it because you didn't hit the sub button and you didn't hit the, so yeah. And honestly, I'm I'm a unique type of YouTuber because I won't buy subs. Okay.
Right.
Which means I don't buy them, flat out buy them. I don't give away shit just to get subs, which people do. I don't have a lot of I do have contests every now and then, but I won't do that to get subs. I won't beg for subs. And very honestly, I want them to come organically, but I'm going to, and this is, your channel is relatively new, and you probably shouldn't be this, you shouldn't be as arrogant about it as I might be, but I'm going to put, subscriber only content out. And you're like, well, how do you put subscriber only content out? I'm going to put stuff out that's going to be up for 24 hours. If you didn't get a notification, you didn't get to see it, and maybe it doesn't even have a thumbnail. Maybe it's a black thumbnail that you wouldn't even click. So, because I think that the people that subscribe should get, more content than people that don't subscribe. That's just my feeling about it. Yeah. So I may actually do that and call it subscriber only content. Because, I do have member only content.
Okay.
But, I only have a few hundred members, and I want everybody to at least have the ability to see this stuff. But yeah, if you don't hit the sub button, some stuff you're not going to see, So
yeah.
It is what it is.
Again, guys, just hit the subscribe button. You're right there. You're literally watching us right
Push
now.
Yeah.
Just scroll. Just hit sub. That's it. I'm not a bad guy. I'm all right. Get to see more Brian. I'm all right. Hey, and I'm kind of funny. So we just did a hate watch of the original 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. On top of that, so I mean, you get tons of content, but you know what? We're here for pool. All right, yep. And I'm not going to drag Sensei Brian out to talk Ninja Turtles. Although he is my Master Splinter, I am his Michelangelo.
Do you know I've never seen one episode of Ninja Turtles?
Oh,
like I've never seen one episode. Now I'm a bit older than you, so I may have missed it as far as
one for you, right?
Age group, but But like even with my kids, like I don't remember ever seeing an episode of Ninja Turtles. So anyway,
I saw
that's
the
me.
original movie in the theater 6 times. All right,
Wow.
because I am that obsessive when it comes to like good movies.
Hmm.
But well, not to go too deep into it, but like as a kid, I would rate that movie like a 10 out of 10. It was like my perfect movie, at the time.
Yeah.
But oh well. All right, so let's jump into some pool. I will
Okay.
start right away with my APA update. I should come up with a graphic for that. But my APA update so far is my last game. There's bad news and good news. The bad news is I lost the match. The good news is I clinched the winning point by getting on the hill, and we're still in first place. I think we're actually not. I think we're in the playoffs. We're gonna be playing that. I don't know when the game is gonna be, but we're in.
All right. Nice.
Yeah, we even skipped the next round, and I think I win like $30 or $40. So
Okay.
I mean, that's some wings and a couple of beers. You know what I mean?
It's $30 or $40 you didn't have
That
before.
I
So
did not
yeah,
have
it's
before.
all gold.
All
Yep.
right, but there's the shot to Vegas is very real. I'm gonna have to practice like a mofo, which I think I'm gonna have dedicate a lot more time with these next coming weeks. And you know what's funny? Actually, look, I think I over practiced on my league day on Wednesday.
Mm.
All right, so I
Uh,
so I practiced for about 2 hours in the morning, and when the match was going to start at around 7:30, I didn't get on the table for my match till about 11:30, like super late. But
right.
I practiced from like 5 until then, so I was shooting for like almost 5 hours, 6 hours on and off.
That's I tell people all the time, don't burn yourself out before a match. I've done it. If you love pool, and my cousin and I, we played for 6 or 7 hours on a Tuesday when we had to play a match on a 6 or 7 hours on a Sunday when we had to play a match on a Monday,
Ooh,
and we both sucked. And
yeah,
and I used to do it all the time. Uh, Years ago, we used to play. People have heard me talk about the Fox and the Hound, which was at the time was one of the most beautiful places to play pool. Really nice tables. They had the most beautiful waitresses anywhere, and we would have matches there. And a lot of times, I wouldn't play until 10 or 11 at night, but I would hold down the practice table because I was
right.
usually the highest ranked player there. So I might play for 4 hours. I might get there at 7 and not play till really 11 sometimes. So 4 hours I'm on the practice table, and then I would go on the regular table. Now, fortunately, there weren't a lot of people that were going to bump me out even on a bad day,
Fair
but it just
enough.
wasn't smart though. You know, Another decent player comes along, I'm in trouble because he's rested and I'm burnt out from all of this, you know, nonsense on the practice table. So yeah,
So
you
what's
have
the
to.
process? What's going on here? All right, so yeah, because I felt burnt out, right? Like to a certain degree, but in your situation, you play the day before. Like, what's going on? Is your body just like I know it sounds like you lifted weights, but are you in recovery mode? So is your aim's going to be off? Like, what? Talk to me about it a little bit.
Well, I tell people like this. Let's say you played another sport,
Right.
okay? Um, Football's, I guess, it seems like an extreme example, but let's use an extreme example.
Why
All
not?
right.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. You're not going to go out in full pads on Saturday to play on Sunday. All right.
Right.
You're just not going to do it. It's a ridiculous idea. Now, of course, pool is not nearly as physical as football, but it
Right.
is mental. It is mental. So if you're competing or practicing, intently on Sunday for six
Right.
hours, you are mentally fatigued. It's like it's like
It hurts
it's
to
like
line up the shot. You're like, oh
yeah, it's
gosh.
like taking a test. It's like taking a test 6 times the day
Yeah.
before you actually have to take the real test. It's not study. There's a difference between study and playing and taking the test, right?
Of
So
course.
you're
Yeah.
taking the test 6 times to have to take the final test on the next day, unless you've got the exact same test and you can memorize the answers, you haven't gained anything. All you've done is drained yourself. And people don't realize how fatiguing, pool is. And if you're on your feet that all that time, think about this. We probably walk about somewhere between 1.5 to 2 miles an hour around a pool table. All right, over a
Yeah.
6-hour time period, that's 12 miles while you're doing puzzles, figuring out runouts and how to play defense and the emotion of the ups and downs if you're concerned about the game in any way. So yeah, all those things come into play. So what do you do the day before an event? You put in an hour and a half, and it's tough because you want to play, you want to practice. What do they do with Olympic athletes? They have to force them not to practice the day before an event because that's what they do. They're so it's part of their, they do you do 8 hours a day, and then somebody tells you no, you can only do an hour today.
Right.
Yeah. It's tough for a lot of people in a lot of sports to not train the day before. So anyway, that's my spin on it is, what would I do if I was going to play football the next day? I certainly wouldn't work out full pads for 6 hours before I had to go and play.
Okay, so that's what you don't do. What do you do? So what? All right. So what's 1 hour the day before? Let's talk maybe 3 days prior to prep, or the week of. Like, what do you? What? Talk to me. What do you think?
The week before an event, I play what I call game situation practice. So, tell you what this means. I don't practice 8-ball. Okay, when I'm on the table by myself, and this is my practice time. I'm going to be here for 3 hours. I'm going to be here for 4 hours. I don't run 8-ball racks. I run 9-ball racks. I play in rotation. I play rotation games. Okay, I may do some drills as well. I'm trying to get myself to do more and more drills, but I'm not practicing 8-ball. I'm not playing the high balls and then I miss and then I play the low balls, and I don't do that. That's not my ordinary practice. But if I know that 7 days later I'm going to be playing 8-ball in an event, then what I want to do is practice that, because now it reminds me about all the safeties and all of that stuff that I want to play. But as far as getting on the table to get better, 9-ball, running balls in rotation, improves your game more than anything else, and doing drills. So that's what you want to do. And then when you approach the event, you get closer and closer to acting as if you're going to be in the event by now I'll shoot my highs and lows and stuff like that. So that's my kind of my routine. And I don't play a lot of events. I mean, I usually, I play money games and I don't always know what I'm going to play. If the day that I can show up, I can kind of figure it out depending on where I go. If I go to this spot, everybody plays straight pool. That's what I'm going to be doing that day. There's not a 9-ball player in the building. Okay. If I go to this spot, everybody's playing 9-ball. I know I'm going to be playing 9-ball. If I play with these guys, they only play 8-ball. So I kind of know from where I go. But as far as organized events, I don't do a lot of that. I play the expo every year. I try to play the expo every year. I've actually missed it probably 5 out of the last 7 years, but COVID had something to do with that too.
Yeah. I imagine.
But yeah, as far as organized events, I'm not doing a lot of that. So sometimes I know what I'm going to play, sometimes I don't. But if I did drills and I did rotation stuff, I'm probably all set for anything.
Huh. So okay, and kind of recap, and let's say I have a match next Saturday, or a week from now, right?
Yeah.
So maybe Monday, Tuesday, let's actually say today and tomorrow, and maybe Monday I should play some 9-ball, just to get the rotation and put myself in situations.
Right. That's what I would do leading up to it, before, like a week before. Okay, all of my practice is kind of 9-ball related. I say rotation, but it might be 10-ball, something like that.
Yeah.
But as you get closer, so yeah, 7 days in, now you really want to ramp up things that more resemble eight ball and the things that you're going to be doing. So I'll give you an example, like the line drill and the L drill. People don't realize this. You got a lot of 9-ball players trying to do the L drill and trying to do the line drill, and they're not going to get worse by doing it. But those are straight pull drills, and you can transfer them over to 8-ball because they're drills for when the table is crowded. Okay.
Yeah.
And you don't get a lot of that in 9-ball. You have to learn to move around the rails, which is one of the things I think is funny. People are driving themselves nuts doing these drills that they see us do where, there's 15 balls in a straight line and we're shooting them off going all the way down the table. Well, yeah, that's a 8-ball and straight pull drill. You don't get this shot in 9-ball. How many times have you had 5 balls lined up next to each other?
No.
In 9-ball where you had to play a soft draw shot or whatever.
Yeah.
No, these are straight pull drills, but nobody makes the distinction. Like I said, they're not going to hurt your 9-ball game, but they're not going to help it as much as shooting balls in rotation or practicing your long shots. You get a lot more long shots in 9-ball than you do in 8-ball.
That's a fact.
Yeah, if you're shooting 5-foot shots back and forth in 8-ball, your position sucks. You need to practice something to get closer to the ball, because I shoot a lot of 4-foot shots and I run racks. All right.
Yeah.
If I leave myself a 7-foot shot, I'm pretty pissed off.
I'm kicking myself. Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm kicking myself.
If you're doing that in 8-ball, you got to put in some work, because that is not the way. That's not the way you run racks in 8-ball.
Then, to put it bluntly, Sensei Brian, I need to put in some work. I'm still not quite there.
Everybody does. We all can improve. And if you're ever satisfied with your game, you probably suck, because the best in the world, are practicing every day. When they're not traveling, they're practicing every day. You want to find Earl Strickland and shit. If somebody wanted to put a hit on Earl, they know exactly where he's going to be every day for 10 hours. So, yeah, you got to continue. And like I said, people that think they're good, they're like, okay, I'm there. They're not there. They're absolutely not there. They're there in their little universe.
Yeah.
And they probably play the same 5 people, probably played no more than 12 people in their entire lives.
Wow.
In their entire lives. And I don't blame them. I mean, where else were they going to see people unless they were competing or traveling or going to pool halls where other people were? But guys that play in bars, they can't name 12 people that they've played pool with, maybe in the last 10 years. So you're playing the same guys. What did you learn? You didn't learn anything. And you're the best there.
Right.
I've gone in bars where the best guy there was a solid 4. Solid 4. He's the king of the hill. He's a solid 4. Yeah. I'm like, I'm going to play this guy left-handed for the sport of it. For the sport of it. And yeah, I mean, you've won tournaments, and where there were, those people aren't exposed to you're the king of the hill there, right? Yeah. So it happens. Yeah, it happens every day. It happens every day. Guys playing bars, and they've never seen 15 people play pool, and a lot of them never seen a YouTube video. They've never seen competition. My cousins have been playing pool for 30, 40 years. I'll bet you at least 4 of them, maybe 5, have never seen, would not know Shane if he walked in the building and pissed on him, because they have no reason. They don't watch pool. They don't watch pool video.
Right. You see little Efren on the corner. It's like, I'll play that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's this bum? This old bum.
And it's a true story. I'm trying to think who it was. Alan Hopkins. Alan Hopkins comes in our spot. Okay. 5 of my cousins are there. I go over to Alan. I'm like, hey, how you doing? He's just casually playing 9-ball with a friend of mine. And I stand there and I talk to him. Some people might have seen the picture. I think I have the picture of me and Al on my YouTube page. And I'm having a conversation with him. I go back over to my crew. Not one of them knew who he was. Like, I'd never seen him before. Didn't know who he was. I'm like, he's a Hall of Fame player, one of the greatest players to ever to walk the planet. But they've never watched competitive pool. All right.
Yeah.
And that's the average guy in a bar. It doesn't make them idiots or anything. That's the average guy in the bar.
But it's like, all right, so and to put it into perspective, it's not like we were saying earlier, it's not the NFL, it's not the NBA. If you saw some tall dude, super ripped, you could kind of make some assumptions, and you wouldn't challenge him on a one-on-one, you know, you know what I mean? And
exactly,
pool is not like that. I mean, literally, the schlubby dude that you wouldn't give a second look to could be like an APA 9, APA 8, 7, whatever, you know, like a grandmaster, and you would never know unless you, you know, if you were lucky enough to catch him on YouTube or see him play in the past.
And it's actually, it's almost the reverse. That I always tell people, if I didn't know who Mike Siegel was, all right, and I got to qualify this. Mike Siegel is one of the greatest players to ever play the game.
Sure.
Okay. I'm not a fan of his. I can't bear to watch him play because he's spent from the first shot to the last shot, he's complaining. Okay. And I can't stand to listen to him. But let me again, one of the greatest players to ever walk the planet. If I walked in a pool hall, and I think I'm quick at sizing people up, I can tell by the way a guy holds a cue. But if I saw him from across the room playing and didn't see the balls going in the pocket, I'd be like, I want to play that guy. He's got the worst stroke ever. He throws his cue up. He's yapping his mouth like he's just missed. He's running racks. I watched him play Earl Strickland. He's running 65 balls. He runs 65 balls and complains on every shot. Oh, look at this table is not running. What happened here? Did you see that ball curve? I'm like, you're in the middle of a 65 ball run. And you know what happened? He got down to the last ball. I think they were playing the 125. He gets down to the last ball. It's about 5 feet away. He's got to cut it in. Oh, I'll probably dog this. Who the fuck says that?
Seriously, why?
I'm one shot away from beating Earl Strickland. I've got a shot that I could make. Literally, he could close his eyes probably and make this. The last thing he says out loud, oh, I'll probably dog this. I can't stand to listen to the guy talk. They turned off his mic. This is no bullshit. They turned off his mic 4 times. 4 times during the event.
Oh my Lord.
Because he was swearing or he was off. He would, if he missed, he'd slam his cue down, then he'd walk away and his mic is still live. So, you know, in his mind, he's only being heard if he's in the arena. He would walk out of the arena and start swearing. And they had to kill his mic like 4 times. And I had to turn the sound off like 40 times. But when
versus Earl.
When Earl is the adult in the room, you're fucked up. Okay.
That's a complainer cup if I ever saw one, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I love Earl to death. And but yeah, I'll tell you, if Earl's looking at you and going,
bro, chill. Maybe, take it down a notch. Wow, Earl. Wow. All right. So, all right. Look.
So let's get to it.
No. All right. All right. So I don't have too much this week, and thank God we filled up all this time and just shooting a breeze here. But I do have some good ones.
Okay.
So let's see what let me get started here. All right. Actually, and then I think I start with the super play, but let it play. Yeah. That shit. Some ladies like annoying and talking in the background. All right. Okay, thank God you can see. All right. Playing the general.
The 9 there. That's the 9 there. Yeah.
Yeah, in the middle. Yeah, next to the 8.
Yeah. The general always holds his cue like he's about to slap somebody across the head with it.
You got to watch out. Have to edit those out. Yeah, YouTube will block me for sure.
That's a good shot off the rail. Well done.
Thank you. Oh, it wasn't so mediocre. Yeah, it
Oh,
looked
here
like
comes
they
the
were
general.
solid
He's
on me.
gonna. It's like,
This
where
is
you
where
putting
you're
it
gonna put
there?
Yeah.
He's sharking you. He's sharking. Where you go? You know where I'm putting it, General.
Yeah. Yup. Oh, he does that shit. He'll make sure he's standing where I'm supposed to sit, or where I'm trying to. He's like, "Oh, what?
Shoot. Yeah.
You need me there? What oh, you need me to move? You want me to?"
Yeah. He all but
So-
stuck his cue in the pocket so the ball couldn't go in.
Yeah. Right.
Where you
exactly.
going? Right here?
Let me see.
Right here?
God. Let's see. All right, let me at least turn this down. It's a pretty crowded table, so but yeah, I definitely wanted you to see this one.
Yeah. So I'm trying to make out the 8 amongst all these dark balls. I think I got it.
It's right here.
This is important. Yeah. So can you go back a second? I just want everybody to see this. Go back before. All right, stop. Okay. So we've got a cluster here, and people are going to make an attempt to break up this cluster.
Yeah.
This is why you have to be careful when you're breaking up clusters in the center of the table. If you pay attention, the 4-8 looks like it's wired for the side pocket.
Yeah.
So if you drove into this cluster from the wrong direction, trying to get your balls out of there, you could very easily put the 8 in the side pocket. This is why guys have early 8s. They don't pay attention to little stuff like this. So yeah, you got to be careful which direction you come for a cluster, how you hit it, how hard you hit it, stuff like that. So I just wanted to point that out. That's the kind of thing, advanced players notice.
And yeah, I'm glad you said that, because of course I did not ever even think to look at what's wired and what could possibly go where. Like I just see cluster. They're cluster. I gotta break up cluster. You know what I mean? Like so the
balls touch.
The balls are touching. No touch.
The balls are touching each other. So
yeah,
that is something something you need to consider. Which direction do I want to come on this? That was not a bad try actually to move things around.
Yeah,
because most clusters you don't have to hit them hard. Yeah, a little bit more, but it's okay. Oh, good try. Something
good
went
try.
right.
I got something went. Yeah, I got the APA
okay. Right,
bounce there. Head and Shoulders ad. Stop wearing a sweaty hat, you fat piece of shit. All right, never mind. Yeah, see, I'm practicing in my shirt. This is the day of the game.
Yeah. Dress rehearsal. It's funny, but I tell people, when you're practicing for an event, dress the way you're going to play. And you're like, well, what do you mean? Well, if you're going to wear sandals, practice in sandals. If you're going to wear heels, practice in heels. Because a lot of women, I might have talked about this before on the channel. A lot of women, they practice in their bare feet at home, and then they shoot in 5-inch heels when they go out on league night.
Yeah.
And the table's literally in a different spot than they're accustomed to.
5 inches higher, right? Or it's 5 inches higher now, or lower because of the heels.
One guy told me his wife always complains about how low the tables are on their league. And it occurred to him when I did a video about that. He went and told her, yeah, Brian from FX Billiards says the tables aren't lower, you're higher.
Genius shot coming right up. You're going to be proud of this one. Oops. Total miss. All right. So blink and you miss it. All right. So
let's just imagine how great it was.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I totally missed it. So Yeah, you see, I'm there. I keep swinging and missing, but you saw where we started, right? Like
Yeah.
this was the beginning, and I
Yeah,
just
you
couldn't break up
picked a
this
lot of them
final
out.
three here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
Any
sometimes the way
advice?
you. Well, I honestly think you did the best you could with what you had here. And since the what's going on there?
That was the miss.
But you kicked it. Did you hit it?
No, that's why I did. That's why I cut to the. That was the iron.
Okay.
It was like total
Right.
swing and a miss. Like it was like a ball and hand foul.
So but yeah, you did pretty well considering what you had. You had a mess there. You didn't have a lot of breakout opportunities, especially that you could get to from the right angle. I mean, really,
Right.
two of your balls were in the cluster and like 6 of his, which means you have, in many respects, only 2 shots that are going to give you a secondary break. So yeah, you did what you could. Maybe strategically you leave one of your balls and bring him to the table and just assume he's not going to run 6 balls.
Right.
So that's the other thing you could do. And I think he probably had to run 8 because I don't think he had anything.
Yeah. And like I would have won that table all around. Oh wait, this is like a blooper that wasn't even meant to fucking make it on here. Oh yeah. Look at this beautiful 8 shot. You appreciate this?
Yeah, classic 50-yard line stuff. Yeah. America's second favorite scratch shot. That one is.
So this is the guy who I beat for that purple stick that he's playing with now.
Yeah. He doesn't even look like he might hit you with the cue. He's definitely going to hit you with the cue.
Yeah, nah.
He's warming up. He's like, okay,
sink one
when
more.
I hit him, when I hit him, this is the spot where it's going to break. I already know.
Oh. Well, I think I did some crazy shit here. Well, just in this rack, if I remember right.
Okay.
That really was fortuitous. God, that worked out that way.
Yeah, he's probably pissed off after that shot.
I wish I had a little more. If I was up here, would have been nicer.
Yeah.
Or
well, you do what you can do. He looks happy now. You got a nice kick though. You got a high percentage kick here. You go off. It looks like between the one and between the first diamond and the second diamond on the long rail. Yeah, he's showing you. Yeah, this is where you want to go.
Yeah.
I mean, even Efren's a long shot to make it, but that's the way to go to make contact. The problem is if you get under the 8, it's a scratch shot. He's even showing you almost the exact spot that you need to hit. Yep.
Yeah, no, he's cool, dude. AJ. Yeah, real good guy.
No, that's about right. The problem is, like I said, if you got under the 8, you could have scratched. You could have just hit the tangent line and went into the corner. So, all right.
This will be the high note. I think you'll be happy with this one.
Okay.
Unless you had something. I'm sorry, I'm rushing through these. Is there anything else?
No. You're good. You're good. Go ahead.
Okay.
This is a good stun shot.
Thank you.
Because you can get on either one of those stripes. I think you choose the right ball, but getting off the rail is a good idea. Whether you did it intentionally or not, getting off the rail was the good idea.
Yes, this one was. I had some intentions on here. I think I maybe needed a little luck, but
yeah. So yeah, I can see you going for things. you don't always know exactly where it's going to hit, but
There's some
a lot of people
intuition.
don't. Yeah, the fact that you've got to nudge those balls puts you ahead of a lot of people because they're just shooting what they have a shot at, and you have a mission, you know, and your speed is good. I wasn't paying too close of attention, but it looks like you're staying down on the shot. You're not over gripping the cue. You're doing a lot of things right. Oh, fancy.
Fancy schmancy. I called it too, just to be clear. It wasn't an APA shot.
I always think of my mother-in-law when I hear that.
Fancy schmancy.
My mother-in-law and my wife walked up on me. I was playing basketball one day.
Yeah.
And I came down, did this behind the back shit, and my mother-in-law, standing on the sidelines, goes, "Fancy."
Ooh, fancy. Yeah, right.
Take her home, please. Nice shot.
Yeah, that was a good
run.
That was
outstanding run.
Thank you, sir. I'm getting more and more
to
of
get
them
on
if
that.
you're noticing, right?
Yeah, so that was good stuff. No, I can see your improvement from week to week. So that was very well done. Good job.
Thank you very much. So anything you need to promote? What was it? NWQ? What's the website there?
NWQpool.com. You can also go to fxbilliards.com. All my stuff leads back to the same place anyway. So fxbilliards.com. I've got a big thing going on coming down the line, but I can't talk about it yet because it may or may not happen. But it'll be major if it does.
Don't jinx it.
And I've told enough people about it that I may have already jinxed it, but
you may have already jinxed it. All right.
Yeah, but I'm convincing myself that I don't believe in bad luck. I don't believe in superstition. I'm not superstitious. I have a friend from the Caribbean, and he said, I said, yeah, I got a thing going on that it's going to be huge if it happens, but I'm not sure I should talk about it. I call it the first trimester rule. For people that don't know what that means, when you're pregnant, you don't tell anybody before the first trimester. It's just something you don't do. And I told him, I said, well, we're still in the first trimester on this thing. And he said in the Caribbean, and I'm going to get this wrong, but he said, we say if you do it, it'll blow away in the wind. Oh. And I said, yeah, I don't want this shit to blow away in the wind.
Right.
So we'll see how it goes, but we're looking good. So I'll keep you updated.
Yeah, and of course there will be a link to the channel, to FX Billiards channel. Be sure to follow. It's got tons of videos. If you haven't hit like or subscribe yet, after I begged and pleaded with you, like a homeless bum looking for a quarter so I can finish buying my 40 of Old E, and you still didn't hit like and subscribe, do it now, please.
Subscribe to this channel, and don't just hit the sub button, hit the notification button, and tell someone else. If you're watching right now, you enjoyed this. We've been just having fun for the last 45 minutes. Amen. If you're still watching us, you got to hit the subscribe button and tell other people. If you liked it, your friends are going to like it. I have people that tell me every week, somebody tells me, I like your channel, but I don't want my friends to see it because then they're going to learn how to beat me. And that's kind of funny because I have I haven't done stuff like that, but like if I like something that I might purchase again, for example, I don't leave good reviews because I don't want it to sell out.
Right. This is the best. It's cute. Yeah, right. Yeah,
and then next thing you know, I did that with chalk once. I I did a promotion, and I'm like, I love this chalk. This is great chalk, and I think you guys should use it. And it was like, how on Walmart or Amazon it shows you, 5 left, and so I talked it up, and all 5 left, which is not I got 50,000 viewers. If just 5 go in and buy this stuff, is done.
Right.
So I had to wait for them to restock it. It wasn't a big deal, but I'm like, okay, I didn't move the damn market in this chalk before I went in and put in my reorder.
Yeah,
And,
right. You should have had your chalk first and then sold the rest. Totally.
Yeah, and now I have like 5 pieces of Tauum chalk, which will last me like 6 years probably.
6 years. Yeah.
And they're $30 a pop. So I'm, if I ever
get what you pay
need
for
money, I might have to sell them.
Oh yeah. You got to sign them.
$25. $25. I thought about that.
Yeah, sign them, man. Yeah, and then you can raise that up to like
Did
$4,000 or $5,000.
Did I ever tell you the story about the cue that I sold on eBay?
No.
And I put in the description, only used by pool player Brian Mitchell. I forget exactly how I said it. Only used lightly by pool player Brian Mitchell as a backup cue. And it was back before I had a YouTube channel. So nobody knew who the hell Brian Mitchell was. They had no idea. But I put that in the description and I sold it pretty quick. I don't know if it had to do with me writing that in there.
Yo, Brian Mitchell used this, son.
Whoever the hell that is,
I need to get this right now.
Exactly. This is Brian Mitchell's cue.
It's Brian Mitchell, son. Let's go.
Which a tip for people, by the way, this will be the last thing we talk about, I guess, because I got to jump. But if you buy a cue like from Ozone or Pool Dog or whatever, they will engrave your name like down on the butt plate, on the plate at the bottom. Don't do that. Don't do that, because if you decide you want to sell it or give it away or whatever the case, the next person does not want your name on the cue unless your name is Shane. So
you gotta find it.
Don't put your name on the cue, because I have a cue that I would have sold a long time ago.
You put your name on it.
Yeah, don't put your name on it. Anyway,
couple emoji stickers on top of it, and you're good to go.
Yeah, that's why Earl's cue has all that tape on it. He's covering up the name of the previous owner.
So you can sell it. Yeah. Oh man. Well, all right, guys. Listen, God bless you all. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Keep practicing and all that good stuff. And
all right,
peace out.
Have a great day. I'll talk to you guys.